So I have two mini stories to share, and they're both around traveling and airplane traveling. And people often get the impression from me when they meet me that, oh, she's so easygoing, she's so casual, she just talks to everyone. I get really nervous on planes. I don't like to talk to people on planes. When I show up somewhere, I'm like, it's all me. I get this panic feeling. If someone talks to me on the plane, everyone around is going to be listening to the conversation. And it's just some weird panic mode that I have. So when I get on the plane, bring out my book, I get settled in. So I had one flight where I'm taking a short flight, flying on Southwest, which, just show up, get your seat. I got my seat, front row. There's the seat in the middle, still free. And this guy, this redhead guy comes in, around 30-something years old. Redhead, he's kind of like rushes in, and I could tell right away he's extremely agitated. I'm like, poor guy. And he's like, stressing out, and he just comes and he darts and he sits right in the middle seat, right next to me. And we're about to close the door, and I could see he's just itching. He kind of like partly sits up, sits back down. I'm like, what's going on with this guy? Is he okay? Is he gonna stay? And then they close the door and he sits back. And I feel the tension and his shoulders start shaking. I'm like, this is gonna be a long ride. I don't know what to do with this energy. And I start to hear after a while his breathing intensifies. And then I hear sniffs, and I go, I think this guy's really crying. Something's going on. And I kind of did the side look, and I could see the chairs going up, down. And the guy in the aisle seat, I see him turn around and pull his hat down. He's like, I'm not into this. And I thought, oh, this just can't do. So me, the person that really does not like engaging with strangers on a plane, and just leaned over and I gently tapped and I said, excuse me, are you okay? And he looks at me and I see his eyes are bloodshot. And I thought, what am I getting myself into? And he leans over, he just starts pouring out this heartbreaking story. His wife cheated on him with his best friend, and then his wife just got crazy and she went, she's in the hospital, and he's like, I don't care. He decided to pack his bags and go on a golf trip. Decided to go golfing with friends. Got this trip. I don't care. Gonna just do what I want with my life. But that's what he's panicking about. And he suddenly says, what was I thinking? She's in the hospital. I'm on a plane to Colorado. And I kind of just looked at him and I said, I just actually let him do the talking. I'm just letting him do the talking. And at some point, Ken just said, I know this is really rough, but you look like you're really struggling. And looks like whatever you're going through, you may not be able to forgive your wife, but are you going to be able to forgive yourself? And he kind of, sniffed and kind of just sat back. And that was all we said for the rest of the flight. The plane lands, and then he turns over to me and he just gives me a hug, says thank you, and he bolts off the plane. And he says, I'm going to catch the next flight back to Dallas. So that's the story of Craig. Again, for someone who does not like enjoying plane rides, and when he dashed off the plane, the guy who had his hat down kind of just looked over to me and he goes. And the next story is also a Southwest flight, kind of happened with Southwest. The Southwest flight, very crowded plane. I was one of the last people on, and there's an older, middle-aged Black lady sitting in the aisle, and she's a little bit like mid-sized, and then there's another mid-sized lady, middle-aged, older than her, white lady in the window aisle. And they're watching people as they walk by, and it doesn't seem as though together. And as they get close to their aisle, they go, psst, hey, you, yeah, slim girl, over here, sit here. I go, okay. So I sat in the middle, down there taking up space, and they go, thank God you're here. We were really afraid that 6'2" big guy over there was gonna try to sit here. And really the simple point of this engagement was that over a Wonderful flight. We chatted the whole way. I did not think about my paranoia of people overhearing our flights. We got free drinks. We talked about their grandkids. It was a truly enjoyable experience. And now, when I get on a plane, I am no longer fearful of who's going to overhear my conversations.
Thank you so much, Taniele. Any questions? Yeah, any questions for Taniele?
I have a question.
Sure.
Have you gotten over flying Southwest?
You know what? I think that may have been one of the last moments I've ever flown Southwest.
Good for you. Any other questions for Taniele?
No, I got a story.
You have a story? Okay, gotcha. Yes.
How often do you fly?
I fly often, yes. But a while ago, I used to maybe fly maybe once a month. Right now, it's less, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Taniele.